Hello and welcome to the Daily Space for today, Friday, April 3rd, 2020. I'm your host, Dr. Pamela Gay, and I am here to put science in your brain. As we move into the weekend, this episode of the Daily Space is going to focus on things that hopefully can amuse you away from the weirdness of the day-to-day world around us. As science productivity slows, we're finding astronomers applying their intellectual and emotional energy in the weirdest of possible ways, and we're going to share these with you. Once upon a time, procrastination meant cleaning your desk. But apparently everyone's desks are now not only clean, but polished and maybe even bleached. Seeking new forms of distractions, many scientists have turned their statistical skills toward modeling how the coronavirus may or may not be moving through populations. And they're working to try and understand if we can work backwards to figure out how many undetected cases may be out there to explain what we're seeing in our hospitals. Astronomers who are used to only seeing the brightest stars in distant systems have the numerical modeling skills to do this kind of work and are in general confirming the results coming out of epidemiologists' labs. This work is solid, helps us get extra eyes looking for holes in how we're thinking about things, and most importantly, it does no harm. Where astronomers and physicists really need to stop trying to get involved is in the medical devices arena of research. In a now famous case, Australian researcher Daniel Reardon used his downtime to try and construct something to stop him from touching his face. Like many of us, he had random electronics and magnets laying around. Now, while I personally have fantasies of building things that will light up or move in response to Twitch chat, his dream was apparently to build something that would buzz when he brought his hand too close to his face. And he created a circuit that could be worn as a necklace, and he thought he designed it with a component that would buzz if the magnet came near. A magnet he put on a bracelet. No, this is not what he had on hand. What he had on hand was something that would buzz if the magnet got too far away. This is the kind of sensor that gets shouty when a fridge door is opened or something. When he slipped on the necklace and the magnetic bracelet he'd also made with super strong natural magnets, he discovered his system buzzed if he took his hand away from his face. No bueno. Still bored and still surrounded by cool things like magnets. He decided first to use a pair of magnets to make fake earrings. Now, I have to admit, I too have done this. It kind of hurts. Don't do this. Now, the next thing he did, because he was still apparently bored, was to make fake nose studs with magnets. Now, this is done by putting a magnet on both the inside and outside of each nostril. This is where the mistakes were made. If you, like him, decide to make magnetic nose jewelry, you need to remove them, well, one side at a time. But this is done by so if you have magnets on the outside and inside of each nostril, you have to, one side at a time. This isn't what he did. He removed the two outside nose magnets, poink, causing the two inside nose magnets to crash together inside his nose, where they did not want to release his nose or one another. Various attempts were made to get them out, all of which failed because, this middle part of our nose has a small bulge of cartilage. Eventually, a trip to the hospital was required where his girlfriend worked and got all of her friends to laugh at him, as she should have. And now we can also all laugh at the fact that a PhD does not confer common sense. Folks, Don't be him. You can't make this shit up. You cannot. Bored scientists, they're a thing. So scientists out there who want to help, I'm here to remind you, you can help by staying inside, washing your hands a lot, overtip the nice person who brings you things from Instacart. You can even run some computer models. Just don't get into the medical device arena unless you're like 3D printing things specifically requested or sewing up masks. Be Emily Lakdawala. Do not be this Australian dude. All right, moving on. In news I had to triple check wasn't an April Fool's joke. NASA has announced they are bringing back the classic NASA worm logo from the 1970s. Throughout my life, we've been told it was strictly verboten to use this logo as it was retired. But we all coveted this logo and its swoopy simplicity. Now, as my generation rises up in NASA, some mysterious soul has won us the ability to finally officially use this logo again. I want to buy this person a drink. Officially, it's coming back to celebrate the return of manned spaceflight using US-made rockets. This is that Falcon 9 that astronauts are going to be going up in May nominally. The old limitations are also being removed on how this logo gets used. While NASA style guides dating back to the days of the original usage of the worm logo all required it to only appear horizontally, the logo will clearly be rotated into the vertical when the Falcon 9 is stood up to take flight. This is kind of cool. Whoever did the paperwork and the lobbying and all the other footwork to make this happen, I salute you. Now, switching topics entirely, because it's that kind of a day. We have word from David Jewett and Max Muchler and company that interstellar comet 2I Borisov has split into two separate pieces. This occurred on or about March 28th when the system puffed out dust and debris, and this is being caught in the continuing observations being taken with the Hubble Space Telescope. This kind of breaking up isn't hard to do for comets and is actually quite common. The HET is now able to see a double core, and this team will continue monitoring this double cored comet to see if the pieces appear to drift apart. This means that this icy blob formed in a distant solar system traveled for tens or hundreds of light years or more, and as it passed through our solar system, was put under attack by our sun's light, heat, and gravity. This is clearly meant as a warning to all other interstellar objects. Don't mess with this solar system. We can mess you up. That's actually not what happened. It's all very scientific and boring, but that makes for a better story. Anyways, in one final note of the day, if you happen to have clear skies after sunset tonight, you need to get out and look up toward the west. The brightest thing you will see should be the planet Venus. And if you have dark skies, you will be able to make out a cluster of stars, the Pleiades, that Venus is just brushing up against. This kind of an alignment happens every 8 years and is just pretty to look at. So if you can, step out on your patio, driveway, or yard and catch something nice in the sky while socially distancing. And that rounds out our show for today. Now, I just want to remind you all, as part of helping keep us all occupied in these really weird times, we're going to be hosting a lot of additional content on our Twitch channel. And we want to remind you that CosmoQuest has an active community on Discord where you can talk science, find ways to volunteer, and even find other people to join you in playing some online games. You can find links to everything that is going on cosmoquest.org. Thank you all for listening. Today's script was written by me, Dr. Pamela Gay, and The Daily Space is produced by Susie Murph. The Daily Space is a product of the Planetary Science Institute, a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to exploring our solar system and beyond. We are here thanks to the generous contributions of people like you. The best way you can support us is through patreon.com/CosmoQuestX. Like us? Please share us. You never know whose life you can change by adding a daily dose of science. All right, let's see what questions we have in the chat. So Gendraloon shares, Bill Nash is going out again tonight and is going to try to get star picture over the strip of Las Vegas since they have turned the lights off on the strip. That's wild. I saw some of his images up on Twitter yesterday, and Vegas is weird right now. It's haunted cities all the way down. Venus is super bright, but the moon's up, so the Pleiades will be washed out. Kerbal is exactly right, but it's still, is it first quarter of the moon? It's not a lot of moon. Looking to see what else is up here. Oh, the monsoons continue in Austin. We just have like spring, which means it's either sunny or raining, and that's our only two options. Oh, I watched Clear Skies a few days ago, all three of them. All right. Let's see if we have any questions in here. Scrolling all the way up to the top. Mythtown says, I am breathing. That is sometimes the correct answer to how are you? That is indeed. Evening Q. I love how people are cheering on Nightbot to try and get it to behave. Yes, Ambius. This was about the nose magnets. I love the anticipation in the chat. So the one and only photo that I could find of the scientist who made the nose mistakes through an extremely quick search was one in which he was in the hospital giving the camera the most sour look. And I decided that showing a face palm really was kinder to all of us than having this sad scientist glower. It's the 3-dot problem. That's an excellent way to put it. Yeah, the 3-dot problem. There. Oh, I need to be here so that there, you can see them right there on my shoulder. So what it is, let me take a picture of my setup. So I use a teleprompter to try and give you guys a better experience. And inside the teleprompter is a camera that has a light on it indicating that I am streaming and the camera is on. But that light reflects off the inside of the slanty mirror and apparently reflects back and forth, giving you 3 dots. I need to figure that one out. I know I can change them by changing how I align things. I need to work on that. Let's see. So AstroWise, producing simple locally made ventilators is completely valid. And here it sounds like he's using his clout as a Nobel Prize winner to try and get someone to do something. That's valid. It's when you have the scientists who aren't qualified trying to build ventilators of their own design that problems occur. Yeah. Guido, you have chat again. And Paranor points out the scientist did point out he was dumb. he feels so stupid, and his girlfriend will never let him let this go. Yeah. Humans, be humans. Yes. Yeah, never play with strong magnets in the human body. I once had to make my dog explode very slightly. I had a container of thinking putty, which is awesome. I highly recommend thinking putty. And thinking putty comes in many varieties. And this variety was magnetic thinking putty, which means that if you set it on a shelf near a strong magnet, it will like creep over to the magnet and consume it. And it's just fun to do stop action videos of. So I had gotten a bunch of the little strong magnetic dots before they were like made. You can't buy them because small children eat them. And I got the thinking putty, and I had done a stop action video, and the thinking putty ate the magnets, and it was a mess. And I was like, someday I shall take these things apart. And I set it on my desk. This was when Eddie was still a puppy. I'd had him for a couple of weeks, maybe. And I come into my home office and find him licking at the thinking putty, and I don't know if he's consumed any magnets or not. And these are the magnets that if they make it all the way down to your intestines, and you have them in two different wrinkles of intestines, they'll zip together and tear through your intestines and kill you potentially, or at least create really big vet bills that I didn't have the money for. So I poured out a bottle of hydrogen peroxide that, because he's dumb, he lapped up quite happily. And then he went out into the backyard and exploded slightly. And there were no magnets. We were fine. But yeah, I had to make my dog explode. Cool, Refs Matt. It's good to know that you were able to 3D print a mask. Yeah, it's so frustrating because there is no mass production. It's a very divisive issue. Are you referring to the logo or the 3D printing? The logo is just hilarious. The worm has turned. Could it be Elon? No, Elon doesn't have, I think, the control of NASA to change their style guide. So Dreamboat 68, you should be able to get a shirt with that logo now. I don't know if it's publicly accessible. It should be. NASA has a Land's End store with all of its logos. So Google around and see if you can get access to their Land's End store. Fires up Stellarium. Yes, I highly recommend Stellarium for those of you going out to observe. Yeah, Keeper, I have all of the clouds like you do. It's kind of frustrating. Oh, well, it is what it is. So AstroWise writes, as far as scientists staying in their lane, as far as medical tech goes, up here, okay, that's the one I already saw. Yeah, so like I said, it's one thing to push that people do smart things by using your clout. That's kind of okay. It's when they design the stuff, that's problematic. Let's see what else we have here. Hulunda, I'm not sure how to say your name, asks, is there preferred astronomy app when stargazing? I kind of like Sky Safari because it has the ability for you to turn it on and set the settings so that you can move your phone around in the sky and it will tell you where things are or tell you what's behind your phone. This is particularly useful when you're out camping and it's partly cloudy and you can see like 6 stars and you're trying to figure out if any of them are a planet because, well, you're camping, so you have a telescope. Because doesn't everyone camp with a telescope? Anyway, Sky Safari. I really like it. I see Keeper of Maps is also recommending it. Stellarium on the computer is really good. AstroWise is also, yeah, we are all on board with Sky Safari. Ref's Matt is like, always with the magnets. Yes, we're always playing with magnets. They're fun. They're fun. Ooh, Larry, that's a good response to how are you? I may steal that. No, the 3-dot problem was a very cute pun. That is actually part of the problem he got into. Yeah, it's the reflection angle as well on the 3-dot. There it is on my shoulder. Yeah, there may be a stream at some point of me simply getting my Stream Deck to work and fixing that problem. Anything else in here? We do all do dumb stuff astro-wise. The trick is to do dumb stuff that doesn't cause you to sit there giving the camera the most sour look ever. Seriously, folks, look up the Guardian article. That look is amazing. We do all love Eddie, but my goodness, he occasionally has done some mightily stupid things. Oh, I didn't know Epicat and hydrogen peroxide were the same. Oh, they're not the same thing. Just for dogs, they're the same thing. So Ref's Matt says, faster to machine sew a mask. My better half works in the pathology lab. She has good advice on these subjects. So one thing that kind of makes sense is to combine the full face shield, which some of you may have from welding and things like that. Not welding, from woodworking and stuff like that, with a easily washed, easily replaced, quick cloth mask. This will prevent things from getting in your eyes and will prevent you from being a dumbass. And like all of us will reach up under a mask and touch our face and not realize it. So you just have to figure out the correct combination that prevents you from being stupid. You bring clouds camping as well, Hanny's Vorverp asks. Yes, I do. It is true. I just bring clouds. It's my gift. So recent camping adventures include going to a star party outside of where the Olympic Training Center is in Colorado Springs. It was an amazing one. Apparently it was perfectly clear the night before I got there. It began to pour rain on my way there. I actually had to pull off the highway for a little bit to let one particular downpour go by. I have a camping hammock that has a really good rain shield, so I knew I would be fine no matter what the weather was. But it poured rain the entire time I was there, and the day after I left, it was clear again. I went camping with friends last year, and we had patches of cloud and rain the entire time I was there. This is what happens. This is me and my life. Hi, Linda. That's how you say it. Now I understand. And yes, there can only be one. Hi, Linda. All right. Stellarium is excellent for planning and observing sessions. I've used it many, many, many years. Intense sad puppy look on the scientist. More like sad cat look. You know that look that a cat has when you give it a bath and it just appears betrayed? That look. Looking to see what else is in here. Paranor writes, necessity is the mother of invention means nothing to the quality or functionality of that invention. It is true. It is true. Okay. So, um, Keeper also points out she brought clouds to the desert where there aren't usually clouds. I'm not safe to travel with. Someone has to define the statistical end of the bell curve defining cursed with bad weather, and I am that person. I don't mean to be. I just know I am. I even brought bad weather to Hawaii when I was there. Like, there were clouds when I was at Keck. Yeah. Ambius is like, best decision I made was to go to the other group than Dr. Pamela during the eclipse. This is true. Miss Britt Kitten asks, are you a minor rain god? Very minor, because I often bring the clouds, but not the moisture. Yeah. Tourist boards pay you to stay away. So true story, I had some folks inviting me to go on an eclipse trip as one of the scientists, and then they withdrew the request after they had heard about my past experiences. Yeah. Okay. I should record this podcast, and in an hour and a half, I will be back with Astronomy Cast, where today we are going to be talking about moons and small moons of the Earth that aren't the moon and aren't satellites, but are captured in here temporarily, and they're kind of awesome. So return for diminutive moons and moons in an hour and a half as we bring you Astronomy Cast right here live on twitch.tv, thanks to the wonderful simulcasting efforts of our fabulous mod, Paranor. All right. 90 minutes. So, the moon problem. I am very quickly going to record. I'm going to go find food, and I'm going to shove that food into my face hole while I prep for Astronomy Cast. And once Astronomy Cast is over, it's the weekend. This is what I'm going to tell myself, at least. Okay. So do not stick magnets up your nose, people. Do not stick magnets up your nose. Looking to see. So other things to make you aware of. Next week, we will have Stuart Robbins coming on Tuesday to talk to us about the imaging work he's been doing on the moon. We are working to schedule the team of scientists who worked to figure out that Mercury just might have been capable of supporting life. We are also planning some exciting, online adventures. So follow it all over on our Discord and check out the events. As I lock in the times, I'll be adding them to CosmoQuest.org. This weekend, I don't know if Sunday Science Hour will be happening. I will be doing artwork on Star Strider. And I think that's all I've got. Things will return on Monday. And I'm really hoping that we're able to start easing Annie back in. She is finally starting to feel better, which is a glorious, glorious, glorious thing. So, until then, this has been The Daily Space. Today's episode was written by me, Dr. Pamela Gay. And this episode will be produced by Susie Murph. We are a product of the Planetary Science Institute, a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to exploring our solar system and beyond. We are here thanks to your generosity, to your bits, your subs, your patronage, your volunteer efforts. You allow us to keep doing what we do. And we're going to keep being here to bring you science as long as we can. So that's it. Wherever you are in the world, have a fabulous morning, evening, or afternoon. And wash those hands. Bye-bye.